Mr. Lamb, it's nice to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you? So fun. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. When did you first discover your interest in photography?
I first discovered my interest in photography in high school, doing the high school yearbook.
Okay.
I did the whole sports section of my high school yearbook. I really like taking action sports photography. That's what I first liked.
Action sports, of any sport in particular, or just?
I did all the sports. We had a very small yearbook team, and it wasn't a class. When I was a senior, we had a new advisor and a new yearbook company, and so we took it over, and I had to do the whole sports section for the whole high school yearbook. So I took almost all the pictures myself, got some from other people, and did all the sports and all the team shots and everything.
Nice. The next question is, how were you able to pursue your love for photography in college / in your future career?
So this was a time where cell phones were still new, and it was very rare to have a cell phone with like a good camera on it. So it actually had a digital camera. I was one of the only ones that would take pictures like out and about and at college, and having people over, and I was just always taking pictures.
Right.
And so it was really fun to be like the historian and record keeper. For me, it was just take as many as possible, and I was more into the computer side of it and the editing. So it wasn't, I wasn't shooting film, and it wasn't about capturing that perfect picture and not having to edit it after, because I liked actually going through the photos and deleting a bunch, and then different effects or cropping them different ways. And so that gave me a lot of practice, and it was fun. It was just like a little, smaller digital camera at the time.
Right.
But I still, I was able to develop as a photographer using that, and then eventually got a nicer camera in college and started taking better pictures.
Okay. Did you ever question your career path?
Yeah, I think I questioned my career path a bunch of times. It took me a long time. I actually didn't start my career as a teacher until I was 26. I didn't know that that's what I wanted to do till 24-ish when I started grad school. I knew I wanted to teach at that point. But yeah, a bunch of times when I was younger, people used to say the saying, follow your passions, you'll never work a day in your life, right? Which I think for some people is good advice, but if everyone took that advice, we wouldn't have like custodians. Like, is anyone really passionate about like plumbing, or is there enough people passionate about plumbing to have enough plumbers and electricians and custodians? So when I was a senior, I really liked cooking, and I actually considered going to like be a chef, to go to chef school. And I ultimately decided, after thinking a lot about it and doing research and talking to people, that that's a really hard career path. Those are long hours on your feet, and in some ways it takes the passion out of it. If you're standing there at a restaurant and doing the same thing every night, and you're standing in the same spot and making the same 10 dishes, is that following your passion? I mean, for some people maybe, because they're so passionate about, like, I love serving people, I love making different things, but is that really what I wanted to do? And so instead I decided to keep it as a hobby instead. And so I'm still able to do that and cook with my family and bring things to parties, and that's great, but I'm glad I didn't choose that as a career.
Right.
It kind of goes with photography as well, and for some people it really works out, like being a professional photographer, and that you're passionate about it. But sometimes, like, I have a friend who's a professional photographer, and he'll be the first to say, like, this is not exactly what I thought it was going to be, because I'm spending a lot of hours on my computer after I go do a wedding shoot, and I'm spending hours and hours going through and editing these photos, and a lot of times people aren't, no matter how much work I put in, they're not as happy as I think they should be with the photos, and it's just a lot. And he still does it, and he still likes it, but he's kind of even navigated through, like, he doesn't do weddings anymore, for example, because that was a lot. But ultimately for me, I was reflecting on it, like, I was able to take things I was passionate about and still have them in my life. So I get to be a teacher, which is great. I get to work with youth like I wanted to. I get to do physical education, make that fun. But then I still do like a fitness trainer at a boot camp, and I still get to like do fitness and for myself too, and teach others. And then I still I've gotten to incorporate like photography and videography into the middle school, and I still get to do that on the side, and I still get to like cook on the side and do other things I'm passionate about without that just being my sole career path.
Right.
So it's been like really nice.
How do you manage all of these hobbies and all of these jobs? Like, how do you find time for yourself and your family while also pursuing your passions and going to your job every day?
So I mean, my kids are almost 4 and almost 2, so I don't really get any time for myself these days. But you know, things I'm passionate about, I get to do with my family now. Like we will go, we can still go on hikes with the kids. We can still travel. I can still take pictures because
right.
thousands of pictures of my kids on my phone, and they've only been around for a few years. Thousands of videos, thousands of pictures, and I get to do things with those when I find time to edit them together. So a lot of things these days, I don't have a whole lot of free time just to like explore new hobbies, but I still get to do things that I like to do.
What was it like starting your own independent project at Central Middle School?
It was good. So when I started at Central, I taught the leadership class my first year, and then I taught yearbook as a class for a couple years, and I just didn't love teaching those things as a class. So then I changed yearbook to just being a club, so we could meet at lunchtime and after school. But I still wanted to do something other than PE, so then I thought that the announcements are so boring and no one listens and no one likes them. So I thought about getting a group together to do something more exciting and more fun. And luckily at the school where I was teaching, I had opportunities to write grants and get equipment and get a group together, and it was successful right from the beginning, which was nice. And obviously it's come a long way. Every year I get more equipment and I learn how to teach things better and what not to do. So it's been good since the beginning.